Phil, Thackeray did a good job last year in the Grand Annual Steeple. What do you think?
Well, we have the boys here to tell us all about it. Craig and Ron Taylor and also Des Spain. Well, what is the betting like on Thackeray?
Well, Thackeray is all but favourite. It's almost equal with Lord Rocky Red. They're the two that the people want. The locals have certainly stuck with Thackeray, and the city slickers are probably staying with Lord Rocky Red. But there's not much between them, but to split straws, Lord Rocky Red is the favourite.
Well, let's take them now in racebook order as they parade in the mounting yard here for the Warrnambool Watermills Grand Annual Steeplechase. Number 1, Lord Rocky Red.
Well, he's carrying a couple of advantages, Phil. Lord Rocky Red to be ridden by Archelaus. This horse is the logical favourite for the race. He won the big Great Eastern Steeplechase at Oakbank over a gruelling course. He came out with a magnificent staying performance to win at Sandown, and he does look a picture here again today.
Russell is the scratching. However, Russell will lead all horses out onto the track. But number 3, Thackeray.
Only had 2 wins over the 23 starts throughout its career. One was here last year and also in the Sir Reginald Lancet Steeple at Hamilton. Thackeray's certainly going to be hard to beat. Finishes like a train when he gets wound up, Phil.
And this one, of course, to be ridden by D. Londigan. Kevin Wynne to ride number 4, Tornates Lad.
Yes, this is in great form. A winner at Flemington over the big fences, beating Tarka and Hydro Royal at its last start. I think it'll handle the Warrnambool jumps very well, and you can expect Tornates Lad to be in the forefront all the way.
Number 5 is Coolgardie. The rider is C. Thorne.
Yes, Coolgardie, always a chance in the long race, in my opinion. He comes along, he gets out of his ground early, but runs on fairly at the finish.
Number 6, Scenic Storm.
Well, it's hard to have Scenic Storm. It only finished 7th in the Oakbank Great Eastern, was a long way back. I think it's a bit rich to expect it to win here.
Neville Rantel, the rider. Number 7 is Dane's Mission, and the rider is B. Wall.
Yes, well, it lost its rider in the Oakbank Great Eastern and then ran in a hurdle race at Victoria Park after that. Had a run in the steeple here to Russell the other day, but only finished 4th out of 10. But I think the journey might be its only hope. It was a fair way back behind Russell.
And number 8 is Marquita's Pal.
Right, there's the applause, of course, for Russell, 3 times winner of the Brierley Steeplechase, about to lead this great Grand Annual Steeplechase field out onto the course. Now, as the applause dies away, we look back to number 8, Marquita's Pal, who was a long shot in the race and on form, and it's very hard to see him running at all well. Although the interesting part, Phil, is going to be ridden by an amateur rider, Mr. B. Waters. It will be interesting to see how the amateur jockey handles this very tricky and complicated Warrnambool course.
Number 9 is Peak Again, is scratching. Number 10 is Tudor Supreme.
Tudor Supreme will be easily seen because he's in the all blue. Hasn't won a race as yet, and it's a bit rich to expect him to win this. His last start, he was only 5th in the Sir Reginald Lancet Steeple at Hamilton.
Right, it won't be long before the horses now move out onto the track for the running of the big one, and to be led by the grey in Russell.
You're watching a direct coverage of racing from Warrnambool through Channel 10 Melbourne, Channel 6 Ballarat, and associated stations across Victoria.
Much indeed, Sean. The Grand Annual Steeplechase coming up. And there's not much between Lord Rocky Red and Thackeray. They dominate the race. Both have wonderful chances. Of course, Lord Rocky Red, the winner of the Great Eastern Steeplechase at Oakbank over the Easter weekend, and then a winner over fences at Sandown at his next start. Thackeray, we saw win in great style at Hamilton last time out. He'll be very hard to beat this afternoon. He's a very fit horse. And the other one given a good chance is Tornates Lad, a last start winner over fences at Clinton last time out. So it looks as if one of that trio on form will win the event. They're out on the track. In. Waiting on Scenic Storm and also Tudor Supreme to move up. Lord Rocky Red is going to run favourite for the event just ahead of Thackeray. Here's a tremendous crowd up on the hill. All sections of the Warrnambool course, of course, are packed to capacity for this great race. As well as the roads aligned with cars, and it's a tremendous sight here. Just waiting on Dane's Mission to move in and Coolgardie and Thackeray to come up. Thackeray about to go in. Marquita's Pal standing up well, so is Tudor Supreme. Coolgardie's away. Scenic Storm is in position. Lord Rocky Red coming up. Thackeray is set. Coolgardie coming up. Soon have them on their way. Coolgardie moved up. Set to go on the Grand Annual. All in. Right on. And they're on their way in the Grand Annual Steeplechase, 5,500 metres and 33 jumps. And settling down, it's Tornado's led on the inside, prominent, going up on the outside to take over Dane's Mission as they run down the straight the first timer. And they were being followed by Phoenix Storm, who's over on the inside of Coolgardie, and Lord Rocky Red is just behind them. And the Thackeray has dropped out to last. Here's the bench looming up in front of them, the first of the treble in front of the stands, and the leader, Dane's Mission, cleared it beautifully. About a length to Coolgardie, 2 lengths to Phoenix Storm. They're followed by Tornado's led on the inside, and they were followed by Lord Rocky Red and Tudor Suprema. And Marquita's Teller's next to last, and last of all is Thackeray over the third of the treble. And the leader here, Dane's Mission, by a couple of lengths to Tudor Suprema, who's straight ground on the inside. Just in behind them, making up some ground also is Marquita's Teller, and they were followed by Tornado's Ladder. And further back in the field then, just behind them, Thackeray and Lord Rocky Red, and last of all is Coolgardie. They're well bunched up. Going to the first of the Alfred Road double, which leads them into Briley Paddock, and Dane's Mission showing the way by a length and a half to Scenic Storm. Marquita's Teller's close behind them. They're followed by Tornado's Ladder and Lord Rocky Red. And further back came Tudor Supreme, followed next to last by Thackeray, and Coolgardie has dropped out to last. They're in Briley Paddock for the first time, and they're going fast now. It's Phoenix Storm taking the lead by a length and a half. Dane's Mission on the outside of Marquita's Power. They were closely followed further back in the field, just behind them by Tornado's Ladder's prominent. Lord Rocky Red is next on the inside of Tudor Suprema. A length further back is Thackeray, who's next to last, and Coolgardie is last of all. At even pace, racing in Briley Paddock to the second fence there. And the leader, Scenic Storm, about 2.5 lengths in advance of Marquita's Pal on the inside of Tornado's Ladder. A length further back is Tudor Supreme. They're followed by Lord Rocky Red, who's travelling well. He's followed by Coolgardie. Next to last, dropping out now, Dane's Mission, and Thackeray is back at the tail of the field. Up to the next fence in Briley Paddock in the first lap. And it's Scenic Storm by a length. Coolgardie's gone up 3 fast on the outside of Thackeray. And they're about a length and a half. Marquita's Pal on the inside of Tornado's Ladder. Further back in the field, Tudor Supreme. 2 lengths to Dane's Mission on the outside of Lord Rocky Red, who's next to last, and Thackeray last of all. On top of the hill at the first of the Cox's Road double, and Coolgardie has gone to the lead as they come into Grander's Paddock now. It's Coolgardie showing out by a length and a half. Scenic Storm at the first fence in Grander's Paddock, and Coolgardie jumped it well. He's about 2.5 lengths to Scenic Storm as they run down the hill towards the first of the Tozer Road double. They're followed by Tornado's Ladder's prominent. Further back is Marquita's Pal, a length and a half to Lord Rocky Red, who's gaining some ground, and further back is Tudor Supreme. Back on the course proper, dropping out next to last now is Dane's Mission being passed in turn by Thackeray. On the far section of the track, here's another change. Again, Scenic Storm took over to lead about 3 or 4 lengths in advance of Coolgardie. A length and a half, Marquita's Pal on the inside of Lord Rocky Red, and up with them Tornado's Ladder as they go to the next fence. And the leader is Scenic Storm, about 2.5 lengths to Coolgardie, a length to Marquita's Pal. They're followed by Tornado's Ladder on the outside of Lord Rocky Red, a long gap to Thackeray, followed by Tudor Supreme, and Dane's Mission's a long last. Coming up to where they started with just over a lap to go at the next fence, and Scenic Storm cleared that one by a length and a half to Coolgardie, who's jumping well. So is Marquita's Pal in behind them, Tornado's Ladder, 2 lengths to Lord Rocky Red, who's going okay, and so is Thackeray, 4 lengths further back. They're followed by Tudor Supreme and Dane's Mission. They're all on their feet with just over a lap to go at the top of the straight once more, and Scenic Storm shows the way towards the next tall timber, and it's Scenic Storm the leader, jumping that one by a length and a half to Coolgardie, Tornado's Ladder. They're followed by Marquita's Pal, and further back in the field, Lord Rocky Red from Thackeray. Well back is Tudor Supreme, and back at the tail of the field is Dane's Mission. They come down the straight again to near the judge with just over a lap to go, and Scenic Storm in charge by a length and a half. Second is Tornado's Ladder. Marquita's Pal is still there, prominent on the inside, and he was followed back behind them by Coolgardie at the first of the treble once again in the final lap, and the leader Scenic Storm by a length and a half. Second Marquita's Pal, Tornado's Ladder, and Coolgardie. 6 or 8 lengths further back is Lord Rocky Red. They're followed by Thackeray is coming into the picture, and they're followed further back in the field then by Tudor Supreme, and Dane's Mission last of all at fence 19. They swing it in towards the Briley Paddock section of the track, coming up to approach of the first of the Alfred Road double, and the leader is Scenic Storm. He's getting his back as a great side. It's Scenic Storm by a length and a half. Second is Marquita's Pal, followed by Tornado's Ladder and Coolgardie, and they're well bunched up in the lead. Thackeray is just behind the leaders, and so is Lord Rocky Red at the first of the double. Back they go again towards the Briley Paddock, and Scenic Storm, Marquita's Pal is coming after him, and Tornado's Ladder still there on the inside. Coolgardie is 4th, 5th then is Thackeray, and 6th is Lord Rocky Red, and then there's a big break for Tudor Supreme, and Dane's Mission last of all. In Briley Paddock for the last time, it's Scenic Storm, 2 lengths Tornado's Ladder on the inside of Coolgardie. The length further back then is Marquita's Pal, and they were followed by Lord Rocky Red and Thackeray as they race up the hill. In Briley Paddock, Scenic Storm about a length and a half there. Tornado's Ladder second, and Coolgardie's making another effort, and Thackeray is going up on the inside, and so is Lord Rocky Red. About 4 lengths further back is Marquita's Pal, 2.5 lengths to Tudor Supreme, and Dane's Mission's a bad laugh. They win their way up the hill, and the Scenic Storm showing out by a length and a half. Tornado's Ladder and Coolgardie. They were followed next by Thackeray on the inside of Lord Rocky Red, 4 or 5 lengths to Marquita's Power, and then came Tudor Supreme, and the bad last is Dane Speason on top of the hill for the last time. Scenic Storm, about a length clear. Second, going up quickly just behind him is Tornado's Lad, and Coolgardie is very prominent. Coolgardie out jumping to take the lead, coming to Granda's Paddock for the final time. And it's Coolgardie in front. It's Granda's Paddock fence here. This is fence number 27 in the Grand Annual, and the leader Coolgardie's been headed off again by Scenic Storm. Tornado's Lad is third. Just in behind them was Thackeray, and further back is Lord Rocky Red to the Tozer Road double, which brings them back onto the course proper. And here's a great tussle where Scenic Storm is refusing to give in. He's about 2 lengths to Tornado's Lad. Thackeray is third, finishing on a length and a half to Lord Rocky Red and Coolgardie. 1,000 to go. 4 fences left to jump, and the leader Scenic Storm by a length to Tornado's Lad. 2.5 lengths to Thackeray at the next one. Scenic Storm jumped that well. He's about 2 lengths to Tornado's Lad. Thackeray 2 lengths further back, a gap into Lord Rocky Red, 800 to go. And further back is Coolgardie. At the third last fence, Scenic Storm the leader by a length and a half. Thackeray going up on the outside there with Tornado's Lad. They're coming at this leader, and there's a gap of about 3 lengths to Coolgardie and Lord Rocky Red. 600 metres left to go. 2 fences to jump in the Grand Annual. And it's Scenic Storm. He's out in front by a length and a half. Thackeray is second. Tornado's Lad is third. Then Lord Rocky Red, followed by Coolgardie as they round the home turn. 1 fence left to jump, and 400 metres to go. And Thackeray's come with a great turn of speed to go up and take the lead. His head to turn for home. It's Thackeray getting clear by a couple of lengths. In second place then is the Scenic Storm, followed by Tornado's Lad and Lord Rocky Red as they cover the last jump with 200 to go. Thackeray is nicely clear. Tornado's Lad down the outside of Scenic Storm and Lord Rocky Red. Thackeray in front, 150 metres left to go from Tornado's Lad. Thackeray is holding Tornado's Lad and Lord Rocky Red. About 50 metres left to go. They're all very weary, but it's Thackeray for his second Grand Annual, and Thackeray wins it by a length and a half. Tornado's Lad is second, and Eckaway third. Lord Rocky Red, 4 lengths to Scenic Storm, Tudor Supreme, Coolgardie, Marquita's Power. A long way back at the tail of the field, Dane's Mission, and they've all completed the course in the Grand Annual Steeplechase of 1980. Stand by for placings. The winner number 3, Thackeray, winning his second successive Grand Annual Steeplechase. The 1980 Warrnambool Woolen Mill Grand Annual Steeplechase, number 3, Thackeray, ridden by D. Londrigan is the winner. Number 3, Thackeray, D. Londrigan first, the bay gelding, a 7-year-old by Hassel, out of Salamba, raced by Mr. R.M. Barsmith and Mrs. E.M. Knotts, and trained by Mrs. R.M. Handyside. Well, it was a most interesting race all the way. The lead chopped and changed, as you heard, on many an occasion. Scenic Storm probably was the one that was in front for most of the journey until he started to weaken when Thackeray went past him after they jumped the second last fence. And that's Coolgardie on several occasions had gone up to take over and then dropped back again. And all in all, a most interesting Grand Annual and as exciting as ever. And the winner, Thackeray, triumphing in the run of the post. Number 3, Thackeray, ridden by David Londrigan first, giving David his second successive win in the Grand Annual Steeplechase, as well as Thackeray. Number 4 is second, Tornado's Lad, ridden by Kay Wynn. And number 1 was third, Lord Rocky Red, ridden by Art Chellis. Winning margin was a length and a half, a neck between second and third. 6:53.5 was the time. 6:53.5, which is well outside so-and-so's record of 6:41.8. 6:53.5 in the 1980 Warrnambool Woolen Mill Grand Annual Steeplechase. And a great display of jumping by all horses. They all completed the course, and interest was on all the way. Now here's David Londrigan and Thackeray getting a big ovation as he comes back to scale. Congratulations to the owners, Mr. Barsmith and Mrs. Knox, and also to the trainer, Mrs. R.M. Handyside. Second place, he the Tornado's Lad, Kay Wynn, and third was number 1, Lord Rocky Red, ridden by Art Chellis. Number 6 was fourth, and that was Scenic Storm, ridden by Henry Rantel. The 2 scratchings in the Grand Annual were Russell and Peak again. And you'll have placings after the race. Thackeray first, D. Londrigan, Tornado's Lad second, Kay Wynn, and Lord Rocky Red, Art Chellis has run third.